Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, July the 6th. Hey, we hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. We appreciate everything that you guys did coming by to see us before the 4th. Thanks for all you do. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to check in with our usual guys, Josh, Tom, Lee, and Gentry, to find out what's happening on your end of the rivers and lakes around our area. We'll be right back with what the guys have to say. Hey, we're joined by Josh Herron on this weekend after 4th of July. Folks, hope you had a wonderful day celebrating the birth of our nation. But right now, Josh, we're going to talk a little bit of Logan Martin and Lay Lake fishing. I know there's going to be traffic out there, but what does somebody want to do if they want to catch a few?
Man, you're going to want to avoid the wakeboard boats and the mumble wrap. It's going to be a good start to the weekend. And that's going to be really hard to do on Logan. So you want to get out super early. You want to beat the hangovers, and man, it's hot. I mean, that's the bottom line. The water temps are 89, 90, 91. I mean, it is smoking right now. So current flow is going to be your friend, but that's really hit and miss with our rain schedules right now. So the Shoreline app is a really good thing to check to kind of plan your day out. But no, I mean, best thing I could do, man, is recommend daylight and plan on being gone by 10, 11. Just go ahead and give them the lake for the weekend. Safest thing you can do. But topwater bite's still going to be pretty good in the mornings. Especially if you can kind of catch it before that sun breaks those treetops. And then it's just kind of it's a brush deal. It's going to be a main thing right now. There's a ton of it around the park. Great time to learn to use your electronics. And then you also kind of can dabble in the really shallow dock bite. For whatever reason, Logan, July, August, these fish will get really, really shallow. I think the oxygen level rises really high in the water when the thermocline sets in. And that's a really good chance to kind of get some super shallow boat dock fish. And the grass will actually play this time of year too.
What about Lay Lake? I know there's probably going to be some fish suspended around that timber, but is there another bite that early people could play with?
Yeah, man. The slop kind of starts filling in this time of year, and you'll get like that brown kind of cheese, not like a Guntersville slime, but it's more like a brown slop mats. That's a really cool thing to throw frog around early. You can throw stuff like horny toads or like rivets. Great way to cover some water in dollar grass. So that's going to be a great option. And then outside of that, that's what we're talking about is suspended fish. They're going to be pretty hard to beat right now.
And I know you might run into a few striper on any of these lakes too. You might find some schooling on shad out there, correct?
Yes, sir. That's why we bring fillet knives.
Make a couple fish tacos, catch and release into the grease.
Exactly.
Josh, man, we appreciate everything. We'll talk to you again next week, friend. Right now, we're going to join with one of the greatest birds in our great nation, Lee Pitts, the crappie king of Weiss Lake, who's also known to stick a bass or two. Lee, joining us by phone, brother. What's going on up there at Weiss Lake?
It's hot. It's still hot. Got over the 4th pretty good. Yeah, we had a good turnout down here on the lake. Had a lot of pleasure boaters, but still a lot of fishermen came out. Weiss is looking pretty good. You know, last week we had a tournament with the Coosa Trail here. 26 pounds on Weiss is a good stringer. That's a good stringer anywhere, but summertime, Weiss Lake, that is a heck of a bag of fish.
Yep.
A lot of fish were caught. It was one of those deals where you had a mixture of a lot of things. Some of the guys caught them real shallow. Fishing some of the grass, even though that grass had some water pulled off of it, they still seem to hang around it a little bit. Largemouth bit really, really good this week. It's been some of that wood cover. You're looking at the 2 to 4 foot range again, slowing it down with some plastics. Had a pretty good bite this week early in the morning on some seawalls, popeye, a spook, something like that. Something you can kind of slow down, let them come and get it. But Weiss is looking pretty good.
What about the offshore bite? I know that this time of the year, A crankbait might be a little without current, might be there, but you might catch them on a football jig, offshore jig, or maybe even a big Magnum shaky head with a big worm on it, right?
It is, and that's one of the things these guys have been targeted to. But just like you said, that current really is the ingredients you need to have with that to really. The fish don't seem to hang on that cover quite as much if you don't have some current flowing. They're still there. You know, kind of come up off that bottom a little bit. You got to just watch them with your hummingbirds and let that be one of your helpers on that. But you get a little current moving, get that oxygen flow going, and these fish really get down there on these hard bottoms, get around that structure, and then that's something that you can put some big bags together this time if you're doing that.
All right, so let's talk Neely Henry now. We got about 30 seconds left in the day. What's going on at the Neely?
Neely is still, just like you said last week, they got a good grass bite going. It's one of those things, even once that sun gets up, you can still get some fish punching and look for that thick grass, look for that river grass that these fish can just roll up out of that river and jump in there real quick. D-bomb is real good. A jig, if you get some that stuff that is not quite as thick, you can put a jig in it. The cobwater bite also coming up with seawalls. Kind of the same thing, typical Coosa, trail deal that you're looking at. Get up there around some rocks, some of those seawalls that's got a little bit more depth in it. And then once that current kicks in, those guys up there picking those treetops apart, the laydowns and everything upriver and fishing those eddy spots, they're catching some good stringers up there also.
Lee, as always, brother, we appreciate everything. Have a great weekend. Recover from the 4th, and we'll talk to you again next week, my friend. Right now, we're going to talk fireworks on the water because I know Guntersville, they're still catching them, and Tom Ott's one of them that's putting some hooks in them. Tom, what's going on a big lake?
Very few duds are happening right now, Dano, but I mean, like we talked last week, it's just got so dang hot. We've been trying to fish later in the evenings, throughout the night. We pull a couple all-nighters, and the grass, the floating grass is still an issue, but you can catch the fish, and you're not sweltering, you're not burning up. It's a little nicer without all the boats, but fish is still fishing. It's a little tough out there sometimes, but when you're fishing at night, we're just fishing the same exact areas we would during the day, whether we're fishing ledges or we're going in and fishing grass. I generally start in the grass and kind of work my way to the ledges, but that's just the way I do it. But I'm telling you, that's kind of the way to get out there, catch you some fish, enjoy the evening, and sleep in the next day. That's about the best way to do it. But as far as just a lot of fish catching, I mean, it's getting hot, guys. So I mean, it is getting a little tougher. And to put those big fish in the boat, I mean, you just got to spend the time on the water. It's a little tough. Use your electronics. I used my forward-facing sonar all night, and it didn't seem to help me at all. So, that's that's a tip I'll give you. I just go and, but I will say this. I think people are a little surprised that I throw the same baits that I would throw during the day. I don't really change color up that much. I don't change size, anything like that. I really don't slow down as much as you should, but I seem to be able to put some fish in the boat. So, just a little tip that you can use on Guntersville. I don't know if that works the same on some of these clear lakes, but Guntersville work fine.
What area of the lake are you liking right now? Or is it mid? Is it lower? Is it upper? What are you liking?
Well, I mean, definitely I'm a mid-lake guy. I love the mid area of the lake. I just think there's so much to fish there, whether you want the grass, the flats, ledges, things like that. And that's exactly what I've been staying through, so around the Pine Island area, all the way up maybe to Goose Pond and back down to, say, Seabolt. That's what I would consider mid-lake. But those are the very same areas. So if you ever see me out there, I'm fishing the same things at night. But it's a lot easier to get on some of those big community holes at night too. So another tip I'll throw out
there. Not playing bumper boats after dark.
Not at all.
We appreciate everything, Tom. As always, we'll talk to you soon. We hope you had a great 4th, and we hope you have a great weekend. Well, let's talk right now, Gentry. What's going on Lake Martin? Are there any fireworks happening there?
Oh, yeah, there's fireworks, all right, in the shape of ski boats and pontoon boats. That's just the nature of it this time of year, Dano. I haven't had a chance to go since we talked last time, and I just been so busy. But I'm still going to throw top water in the morning. And lunch, mid morning. You never know. There's you can always see something cruising, or take a chance of seeing something cruising. But it's going to be big worms, big jinks, big crankbaits during the day if that's what you want to do. And but I still say the night bite's going to be better at Martin, hands down.
So what kind of things do you like to do at night? Do you still fish the brush piles? Do you still do that kind of stuff? Jigs, that kind of deal?
No, I run around to all the dot lights. So, at Martin, there's more green lights up under the water that you can possibly fish, But on the green lights, to me, they draw a lot more spotted bass for some reason. So I run a crankbait through there and I'll throw a glide or something or a jerk bait to see what's there. But when they quit hitting a moving bait, then I'll take a little hematoma, like a dirty jigs, compact flipping jig, and drag that below the lights and get a few more bites. Now, if you get in some places like Sandy or Blue Creek where you can find the older dock lights, that's mounted on the dock, shining down, that's where you find your bugs, your bluegill, and your bigger bass.
Gotcha. All right, so let's talk Jordan Lake in the last 45 seconds that we got. What are you hearing out of Jordan Lake?
Again, it's just so busy, man. I haven't had a chance. But I did talk to a buddy. He said, that he runs up the river in the afternoons when they start generating. If they start generating in the afternoons, he runs up the river. But he said the grass bite is still happening. Your better fish, and then it's just you're offshore, your stuff.
Yeah, and I know there might be a flip and bite in some of that heavy grass that you like to do with a big weight, and that's always fun too. Gentry, brother, we appreciate everything. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon. Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, July the 6th. Thanks for everything that you do to be a part of Bucks Island. We appreciate everything. We appreciate you stopping by and spending some time with us. It's one of our favorite parts of our day. Thanks to the guys for all the information that they share with us. We'll see you next week on the Bucks Island Area Fishing Report. Be safe on the water. Enjoy your time.